Our vision for the cathedral is a Christ-centered cathedral impacting generations.
Thank you, Provost, for the opportunity, and we wish you well. We'd like to know about a little bit about your leadership. And as the Provost, tell us what to you is leadership, and what can you say is your leadership style that has carried you through as the Provost and also in your personal life?
Well, I understand leadership. I know there are many definitions of leadership in academic books, but from a very pragmatic point of view, leadership is the ability to understand where people are, create a vision, compelling vision, to take them beyond their challenges, looking at their present, checking also at their future, and being able to help them realize that future. And so leadership is not a person, it is a college of thoughts that come, but definitely there must be a leader who catalyzes, because a leader is a catalyst, catalyzes others, but people come bring ideas, then you sell the ideas to the followers buy the ideas, they support, and you keep checking and checking and checking. For the last 10 years as the Provost, that is exactly what I have been doing. And also for the last about 27 years of my ministry. I have gone to places and the inspiration mostly comes from God because spiritual leadership is different from any other leadership. That it is God who puts a burden in you, but you have to share it with the other leadership and be able to realize what sometimes is impossible. Now, there are many types of leadership styles. The first one is authoritarian leadership, which is actually like established hierarchy. It is very result-oriented. The second one is democratic, where you increase participation of the team members. You create room for additional ideas from others. So it is very relational based. The other one is transactional. It's not based on emotions, it's based on work. And you increase the morale of the members, you place high morale among the team members, and work is done. It's very result-oriented. The other one is transformational. Transformational is the idea of building people to realize their full potential, and it's based on relationships. And the last one is what the French call the laissez-faire. Laissez-faire has to do with being free, allowing people to do what they want. So coming to my own style of leadership, I think I'm able to amalgamate all of these styles together. But the one that I find very close to me is transformational. I'm people-oriented. I believe in people. I believe every human being was created with a potential, with an ability. And therefore, when directed, because again, laissez-faire is very dangerous. But when transformation is when an assignment is given and you agree and you keep relating together, that kind of environment produces people. Even people who are weak become very, very strong because they know that their senior leader believes in them and that they can give their best. And so people keep raising their bar up and up. For the 10 years I've been the Provost, I saw that literally. Sometimes I had very strong workers that are self-oriented, but they need some little guidance. I had others that were weak, and I could tell they are weak. I would sit down with them. And again, here, privacy is important. People need to feel loved and respected, and they are told that this is your area of challenge. However, we can be able to work. And then you agree that in 3 months, you can be able to achieve certain goals. And so I've seen relationships being very, very important. But if you also talk to people who have worked with me, they also know me as straight, but also strict, but at the same time, friendly. How I've been able to weave all those things together, I also don't know how. But I've seen less conflict with my staff. I don't conflict with my staff. And if I conflict with them, it's not based on personal things. It is based on work. And my workers know my mannerisms. There are certain things that must be done. If this leader who says, if we have to go through a wall, we will go through a wall. I need your support to break that wall. So I'm goal-oriented, but at the same time, I relate. I want to carry people with me. There are those that are quicker. There are those that are slower. I must be patient with them to help them achieve the goal.
Okay. Tell us, how have you fostered a sense of collaboration and shared purpose among the cathedral staff and congregation?
I think to me, vision is what brings people together. People rally behind a vision. When a leader doesn't have a vision, then what will people collaborate around? So I think to me, maybe this is my area of strength, is to create strong, compelling visions. Once I do that, once I sell, I know who can be able to handle what. And so in terms of staff, I assign them duty. I allow them to bring also their ideas in. Also in the congregation, once I give them the vision, I am a listener. I listen to feedback. Once I get the feedback, I amalgamate it together with my own ideas and ideas of others, reshaping of the vision. Then something else is to keep the congregation informed. This is where we are, this is what we need. And I've come to know, once the vision is clear, once the leader is trustworthy, people will give regardless. And once people give, then do the things that you promised to do. I think leaders fail when they have compelling visions, they allow people to come in, however, they don't update them and they are not accountable. One of the things that I'm very proud about is I was accountable for every shilling. I signed every shilling. So whenever I stood at the congregation, I knew I was speaking the truth. And I would be able to account and show them what I've been able to do, both in paper, but also on the ground. That has helped a lot.
Let's look at the area of conflict. How have you been able to manage conflict among the staff and the cathedral members? Tell us about the strategies that you employed to manage conflict during your tenure.
In such an environment, conflict is inevitable. You'll conflict because of work, but you'll also conflict because of characters and personalities. I have been able, first of all, to separate things that are personal and things that are related to work. Sometimes we bring our own personal things and feelings and failures into work. I think that one is part of us, but we need to be careful and put it aside so that we know, why are we here? We are here for work. God's work, people's work. So that even as we bring our own feelings and personal conflicts, we should be aware that this work must be done. The first thing that I was able to do is to create a strong structure. Because what I discovered before is management and policy making was one and the same. Just to demonstrate that is where elders in the parish council come to run the church. That is a very bad model. My model is that elders meet in meetings to form policy. Once they form policy, they leave the administration, and I'm in charge of the administration. They leave me and my staff to do the work. The elders should be able to evaluate what we have been able to do. So I was able to separate that. And during my 10 years, I never saw an elder come to direct a staff, because that is my job. But even within the administration, I was able to have the team leaders, the administrator, the finance manager, the HR, the assistant provost. Those are the key managers of their offices, and they have people below them who can be able to report to them. That way, I didn't have too many people reporting to me. I was able to delegate work, and people felt they had responsibility to do, and then they would always report back. And me as the provost, I knew I was accountable, first and foremost, to the archbishop, to the parish council, but also to the congregation. I think to me that helped a lot in management of conflict.
Lastly, tell us, what do you believe is the most important quality for a leader in a faith-based institution, and how have you worked to embody these traits?
There are many traits that are important, but let me enumerate some. Number one, I think I had already alluded to it, it's the vision. A leader without a vision is not a leader. Please be clear about what you want to achieve. Like, for example, the provost has only 10 years, maximum. It's a 5-year renewable once. Therefore, know what must you achieve and what can't you achieve. So create a vision that you can be able to implement to a certain extent before you hand it over to another person. Because once it goes to another person, it will change and mutate. So vision is important. Number two is trust. Be trustworthy. Can people trust you? And trust is not an event. It is something that people can follow over your period and say, you are a trustworthy person. The other one is the ability to communicate. Communicate clearly what you want. In terms of the gospel, be the preacher, be the pastor. But also, when it comes to matters of administration, people should not be guessing. There shouldn't be gaps. People should be able to know clearly this is the path that we are taking. There are many others. Let me maybe give you one more, is the ability to listen. My policy for the years I've been here is an open door policy. Anybody can walk into this office. On these seats have sat the topmost. On this seat have sat the groundsmen. In other words, anybody can sit here. And not only the office, even outside there, I talk to everyone. Even after the Sunday service, I make myself vulnerable. I want to tell my congregation, I love you, I care about you. I'm here, I'm not an angel. I'm your pastor. I want to listen to you. And to me, that one has really helped me in dealing with many, many things. And so I would encourage any leader to be available to his staff, but also to his congregation. Because this is not a company. This is about people. So 80% of the work should be towards people. 20 is the management of the people.